Alex Pereira just admitted that his days at light heavyweight might be coming to an end because the weight cut to get to that 205-pound weight limit is just becoming too much for him. We've also seen Tom Aspinall talk about Tom Aspinall. You know, there's been a lot of MMA news, but Alex Pereira did a media scrum and was answering some questions, and he gave out this interesting tidbit saying that he doesn't know how long he's going to actually fight at the light heavyweight weight class, and that, you know, we've been talking about Alex Pereira moving up to heavyweight, but this is the first time where it's like, wow, this might be a possibility sooner rather than later. So let's take a look at what Alex Pereira said, and let's break it down. So here we're going to see Alex Pereira asked about who's going to win between Tom Aspinall and Cyril Gane. That's a fight that's happening later this month. Let's hear what he says.
Cyril Gane, like who do you think you will win? Is the winner something that interests him?
It's a tough fight. You know, Tom is a complete fighter, but I do feel like he's fought a lot of aggressive guys. And I think Gane is a guy who's going to do a lot of movement. He's going to be a little more cautious and you know, just moving around a lot, and might frustrate Tom. You know, so first, second, third round, maybe Tom can't find Cyril Gane. So I think it's going to be a different fight. We'll see.
I think probably most people disagree with this. I mean, I think Pereira is hoping this because if Cyril Gane does good against Aspinall, that's probably a good sign for Alex Pereira. But if Aspinall goes in there and destroys Cyril Gane, I guarantee you, I don't think many people are going to think Pereira is going to move up and have much success. I mean, because Cyril Gane is a heavyweight himself and has been working on his grappling for years at this point now, ever since losing to John Jones. So if Cyril Gane doesn't stand a chance, I really don't think that Pereira is going to stand a chance.
We don't know. We'll have to see. You know, obviously my body gets heavier. I don't know how long I can cut to 205. So we're just going to have to see and take it fight by fight.
Yeah, so he seems like, yeah, like he seems like maybe there's a few fights left in him for 205. Perhaps that's it. Maybe at max. Maybe if he loses this fight, maybe the next fight's at heavyweight, honestly. I would not be surprised. But it just seems like we've been talking about this for a while. Alex Pereira, I think it's time for him to move up, especially if he loses this fight. Like, what other fights are there at light heavyweight? He has done a lot at 205, beaten a lot of top guys at this point. It's given us a lot of just fun memories. I mean, but I think Alex Pereira might have been a little salty because Tom Aspinall also gave his prediction for the Magomed, Ankalaev, and Alex Pereira fight, and he claimed that Alex Pereira had some favorable matchups, and that basically Ankalaev was the first bad matchup that he's ever really had. We even see Ankalaev reply to this saying, Tom knows, agreeing. So here's what Tom said. He said the matchups were favorable to him up until this point. Him, Ankalaev, which, you know, that's who he's referring to, just with the threat of the takedown. I think stylistically it's a bad matchup for Pereira. So he's saying here, like how I've said before, wow, Magomed I don't think is going to go in there and get all these takedowns like a Marab or something like that. Just the threat of it alone changes the fight significantly, so Pereira can't just do whatever he wants. So I actually agree with Pereira. I actually agree with Tom Aspinall here, but to say that this is the first favorable matchup, I would also actually probably agree, because I mean, if you look at the matchups that Pereira has had, they have been strikers, right? And this isn't to knock Pereira. Pereira doesn't have control over who he fights, and I guess you can knock him, yes, because he did get rushed to a title at middleweight. That's the only time I guess he got rushed in a way, and I guess you could point to a time where he got favorable matchups, but once after that point, it really just happened to be strikers that made sense. I mean, he did not fight Magomed for a long period of time, but even then, Magomed isn't even a crazy grappler. So even this, I don't even know if this is a matchup that is so against him necessarily, but definitely the threat of the takedown is serious. Also, join the Discord in the link in the description and submit what I should react to in the next episode. We also have Dricus du Plessis giving his prediction here. Here's what he had to say about the matchup, kind of saying the opposite, kind of agreeing that Pereira might win this, agreeing with me at least.
You smother him and get his back, put him on the back foot. You don't, when Pereira's on the back foot, he's not the best. That's not his style.
No, that's facts.
But now they know Ankalaev's going to close that gap. I know Ankalaev says he's going to strike with him. I don't think that's a great idea. I really don't think that's a good idea. Yeah, I do. I really don't see this fight going the distance this time. But I'm putting my money on Pereira to claim the title.
Wow, so Dricus picking Pereira, the rare pick. I think most people are probably picking Magomed Ankalaev because of the first fight. I mean, honestly, I have said before, I felt less confident Pereira was going to win the first time than this time. I actually am going to be picking Pereira. Ankalaev also has a little announcement that he's been teasing for the press conference, saying, guys, Thursday during the press conference, I have something to say to every light heavyweight on this card. Tune in Thursday, the press conference, which is tomorrow. Oh, brother, look at some of these reactions. Oh, brother. Yeah, we'll have to see what this is. My expectations are very minimal. I'm actually curious. What are people saying? Oh, yeah, Ali Abdelaziz. Okay, Magomed, repeat after me. Ali is going to show up and take questions. Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of Ali memes. So yeah, he's apparently going to be calling out some names here. In other MMA news, Dustin Poirier called out Nate Diaz for a boxing match, I guess for this new Zuffa boxing promotion that Dana White is doing. And he said, Zuffa boxing, 12 rounds, me and Nathaniel, I'd do it. Only one more fight I'd take. I'm retired, I'm done. But Nate is the one that got away, and he wants to fight him in boxing. It makes all the sense in the world, because I always said that Dustin Poirier, one of the best boxers in the UFC, if not the best boxer. I actually think there's an argument to be made that he is the best boxer of all time in the UFC, because he's outboxed Conor, he's outboxed Max Holloway. You know what I mean? So he definitely has some credentials against Nate Diaz. Nate Diaz, even though he's a bit older now, I mean, this isn't exactly both these guys in their prime. Dustin Poirier definitely way closer in his prime than Nate Diaz. I would like to see the fight. However, don't think this would happen in Zuffa boxing, just because it seems like they're kind of building this as like a legit boxing promotion. I don't think they want to do too much dabble in the MMA scene. So could we see potentially a Misfits boxing maybe pick this up? I wouldn't be surprised, but I don't know what Dustin's contract situation is looking like. However, if Dustin is saying to them, hey, I'm willing to fight for Zuffa boxing, and they're saying, hey, we don't want that fight, why can't Dustin go out there and fight for a Misfits or something like that? It just doesn't make sense. Like, that's clear. He's willing to fight for you guys. You guys are saying no, might as well let him fight. But I would absolutely love to see this fight. I would sign me up. I don't care if it's boxing. I would watch this. Jiri Prochazka shows off some of his head movement training. Let's see this. All this just for him to immediately forget when the fight starts. All of this literally, and then it's just going to go out the window right now. That's probably more accurate to that movement in the fight, just getting hit with these things. But no, look, he's actually moving his head because, I mean, we've seen him take so much damage, guys. I don't know how many more punches he's realistically going to be able to keep taking. You know what I mean? Like, he has been getting knocked down, got hurt in the Jamal Hill fight, got hurt in a lot of the fights. I don't know. I mean, Jiri looks really good here, guys. I'm not even going to lie to you guys. I think that I'm not going to pick him. I'm going with Khalil still, but I definitely think it's going to be an interesting fight. John Jones reacted to Dominick Reyes getting knocked out over the weekend. You know, poor Dominick Reyes, guys. This was a sad one, I gotta say, because I felt terrible for my guy Dominick Reyes. I was really rooting for him against Carlos Ulberg, but he got knocked out. John Jones posted a little tweet under it with this slanted face, which I felt like was a bit backhanded. Like, I don't think he's really sad. You know what I'm saying? Like, he talks so much shit about Dominick Reyes. Like, it's not like this is a guy where even Adesanya to Pereira, they had their beef, and it seems like now Adesanya cheers for him and publicly does so. So if he would have, kind of reacted in a sad way to Pereira losing, that's not necessarily trolling. However, John Jones literally, I believe, within the past 3 months has talked shit about Dominick Reyes and, reference their fight and things like that. So for him to put this face, it seems kind of like you're dancing on his grave, kicking him when he's down, and I just don't like that. I think that's pretty crazy. I don't like that from John. Now, I also want to talk about this, which is something that nobody's talking about. This, Hughs versus Nurmagomedov, a fight card that is happening Friday, October 3rd. This Friday, this fight is happening. And I swear to you guys, I knew that this fight was happening, but I did not know it was happening this quick. When I saw October 3rd, I'm like, this Friday, there's absolutely no promotion. And that's what this post is about, and that's what it's being talked about. No promotion for this. I mean, maybe that's the promotion, the fact that there's no promotion, we're talking about this. But this fight deserved to be the face-to-face interview, or deserved a face-to-face interview, a satellite interview, an announcement press conference in Dublin, Ireland, or in Dubai, a media tour, use of Dagestani versus Ireland storylines at the fight. None of these things have happened. With shout out UCD MMA, great Twitter account. But I can't agree more. But at the same time, I mean, do the PFL really have resources like this? Realistically, we know that this fight is not going to be making a profit. Let's just call it what it is. It's not. I mean, has the PFL ever profited? And Ngannou scammed them of all their funds. Don probably got about $20 in his account. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think they have money for this. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even think it's about laziness. Like, we talk about the UFC being lazy and stuff like that. Like, this isn't laziness. This is legitimately like they don't have the funds for this. They don't have the money for this. And if they spend the money on this, they're probably not going to get a return because they're probably not going to get that many people watching the fight. People that watch the fight, they're probably going to stream it. They're not going to buy a pay-per-view. I mean, let's just be real. That's what it is. Even UFC, which is probably the only successful, consistent pay-per-view business, and even then successful, we're using loosely because there's been a lot of reports where they've fallen behind. Even they have now switched over to Paramount Plus, no pay-per-view anymore because pay-per-view is dying. I would be shocked if in 5 years, 10 years, there's pay-per-view still. How are pay-per-views still a thing when anybody could just view a pay-per-view for free? This is insane to me. Like, I don't understand why companies are doing this. They got to switch to streaming. That is like, it's 2025. We're fucking done with pay-per-view, guys. And on that note, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. A little bit of a new format. So let me know what you guys think. Also, check out the podcast down below. Click the link in the description for the Discord server. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.